AskReddit by AskReddit. People who talk on speakerphone in public places, why? And also these dumb shits have it on speaker but hold it right next to their face anyway. WTF are they doing? These shats are acting like they are on reality TV where the phone gets held like that so the world can hear both sides of the convo. Waiting at the airport with dozens of other people waiting for our flight when a young lady took out her phone and proceeded to make a call on speakerphone. Since the airport was loud, she was yelling at the top of her lungs, having a casual conversation in the middle of a big crowd, complaining about the noise, the crowded airport, and how she hates flying. My flying partner gave a look at her, then smirked at me and walked over so she was between the two of us. He then proceeded to start a conversation with me at the top of his lungs. I thought she might get the hint, but instead, she put her phone down to her side, got in my flying partner's face, and demanded that he keep it down because she was having a phone conversation. We were purposely being jerks, but she was unaware at a level of a churlish behavior. Anyway, I go with narcissist for the reason why. I did something similar recently. At the airport, also with dozens of others, waiting, and this young man decides to play karate videos on his phone at full volume. After 10 minutes or so, I sat right next to him and started playing dog barking and crying TikToks on full volume. I looked him dead in the eyes as I did this and he walked away. Also, as someone who works in the service industry, why do you do this while I am attempting to get your order? Was at a restaurant the other day and the older couple behind us did the weirdest thing I've seen when the server tried to take their order. The old man was talking on the phone on speaker in another language very loudly. And anytime the server asked a question, she would direct it to the old lady. She would then just look at the husband. He would respond back to her in English, then she would repeat that same thing to the server. Sometimes they would have to wait over a minute because he would still be talking on the phone. Oh, I know this one. Because they are self-absorbed assholes with no common sense or respect for anyone around them. Looking into this. I was at the doctor's in the waiting room last month and there was an older man taking loudly with speakerphone on. After a couple of minutes I was starting to get really annoyed, but then remembered where I was, at the ear doctor, where there was probably a pretty decent chance that the man was hard of hearing. This is why my dad does it. He claims he can hear the person better that way. They are showing everyone just how important they think they are. It's pathetic. Everyone needs to know about my chlamydia warts. IDK. Also, please don't call a call center on speakerphone. We can only hear ourselves echoing in the headsets. So, I should answer the marketing calls on speaker then? Sat for a couple of hours in a waiting room with a woman using her speakerphone in a casual conversation. Put my headphones in and did my best to ignore her. Later a challenger appeared and she opened a laptop and pulled out her phone and started a conversation on speakerphone. Oh, I thought, she's just teaching the first gala lesson. I thought wrong, and suffered with everyone else while those two carried right along, ignoring the sign about no cell phone use in the waiting room. Whenever they're around me I start whistling really loud. Whistling can be so annoying. Almost as annoying as people on speakerphone in public. If you're a bad whistler, I hate you, but I appreciate you using your powers for good rather than evil. Cause they are assholes. Hey, I know this one. It's because of the Kardashian show. They do this so the cameras can hear both sides of the conversation. A bunch of dummies now think this is the way cool kids do it. I've always thought this as well. Those shows were the first place a lot of kids saw cells being used. Because you need to know about that growth on my back. And the Great Imahoid Rebellion of 2022. Same reason that some people walk around with music blaring. They're self-important to shats. I like joining into their conversation. Especially if I get to look over their shoulder while they are on video call and put in my 2 cents. It really pisses them off. But they wanted me to be a part of it, right? Disability. I can't lift my arms up to put the phone to my ear. If I need to call, I'll try to find a quiet spot where I won't bother anyone. Fair enough. I only wish the more able of us did the same courtesy. They are very, very, very special and important people. Their lives suck and this is the only way of getting attention. Their parents raised them poorly. They are narcissists. No fucks given. My brother-in-law does this and other socially aggressive behaviors, and I think he gets off on knowing he's annoying people and they aren't saying anything to him. Like he's thinking, haha, these beta cucks are so annoyed at me but won't call me out on it. But if someone does call him out on it, he gets insanely defensive, like they've called his bluff and now he has to win. Because people think everywhere is their house and had shit upbringing. Main character syndrome, at least that's what I figure. As a main character myself, I've been known to join in their conversations. The way I see it, they have no room to complain when they are making the conversation public. Was at a nice restaurant on vacation a couple days ago and the table across the room was on FaceTime, on speaker of course, and there was a baby crying, screaming, in the background of whoever they were talking to, and the whole restaurant could easily hear it for maybe 15 minutes and the staff did nothing. I cannot fathom how self-absorbed one must be. Public service announcement: if your phone makes a noise at all in a public setting, other than maybe the ringtone, you are an asshole. And it seems like everyone's ringtone is either that infuriating default one or some hip hop trash song. Because they are selfish and inconsiderate. OMG. This just happened to me in line at a Burlington. The lady was on speakerphone through the whole store but we were trapped in line at the checkout. The whole phone call was regarding someone's medical issues. She was just perusing socks while caseworker and medical people were talking about someone's medical issues and needs. It was so loud, everyone in line was looking at each other and her while she obliviously looked at socks. So we get to hear both sides of the argument. I'm hard of hearing and only the speakerphone gives me the volume I need. I am aware of my surroundings and don't usually use a phone in public. You might want to look into getting some headphones. Even just earbuds would be helpful. But a nice pair of over-the-ear headphones naturally block a lot of outside noise, and you can go one step further by getting noise-cancelling ones. AWW. See Monday. You know you wanted to know what the person was talking about on the other side of the line. No, I'm kidding. The part I still wonder about is why they put the speakerphone up super loud and then they speak super loud. Is this done to purposely piss people off, or are the two people very hard of hearing? Some people are just stupid. I do some part-time security shifts for a high-rise building. This is one of the owner's pet peeves. So every time it starts up I get to have some fun and tell them to put it to their rear or leave. It really is one of the perks. It starts super nice, excuse me, can you take that off speakerphone? Everyone can hear you, them know me, then your time here is at an end. Please leave, them, fine, and switch it off and go back to talking. Me, sorry, too late for that. You still have to leave. It is satisfying on so many levels of pettiness.